Hey folks, it's me, Sluggo, beloved leader and fearless president of the Vortex, horrorhost.net. This week we have 4 new movies making their Vortex debuts and new shows from all of our hosts. Starting on Monday, the Weirdness Really Bad movie with Dave Binkley and Kat Gibbons presents the Vortex premiere of Bulldog Drummond Comes Back. In tonight's movie, Captain Drummond and his friend Colonel Nielsen, played by none other than John Barrymore, go after a man who has kidnapped the captain's girlfriend. The host bits for tonight's show were filmed from various Akron, Ohio points of interest. Dave always films on location, and you never know what you're going to see. Then on Tuesday, the Dead Vault Horror Show with the Keymaster Slasher Poe presents the Vortex premiere of Satan's Black Wedding. In this low-budget shocker, a man travels to Monterey for his sister's funeral and tries to find out why she killed herself. He discovers that she is actually a vampire who has returned from the dead to take revenge on her family. Well, who hasn't experienced that before? Christmas time, am I right? The acting is terrible and the production values are pretty bad, but its gritty cinematography, the Monterey location shots, and the vampires themselves seem to be the redeeming qualities in this one. Disclaimer, Satan does not make an appearance, and no wedding, black or otherwise, takes place in tonight's movie. For Wednesday, Crimson Theater with Dr. Destruction presents Frankenstein Meets the Space Monster, in which an evil alien princess and her bald, effeminate dwarf henchman arrive in Puerto Rico, of all places, to kidnap women to repopulate their dying planet. I wasn't aware that Puerto Rican women were particularly more fertile than any other women. But yes, that's right, I just said dwarf henchman, bald, effeminate dwarf henchman. The Frankenstein, quote-unquote, is a horrible, disfigured android astronaut, and the space monster is an alien mutant named Mole. Well, there's lots of rock music in this one, stock footage, and laughs to keep you entertained. The only thing missing is the Spanish Inquisition, but who would have expected that? Thursday, spine-chilling cinema with Oliver the Caretaker and co-host Alice presents The Devil's Messenger, not UPS or FedEx. This trilogy of terror, re-edited from the Swedish TV series number 13 Demon Street, previously shown here on the Vortex, stars Lon Chaney Jr., the original Wolfman, as old Beelzebub himself, who sends emissaries to the surface to trap souls in the underworld for all eternity. Well, that's how I hire people. These 3 episodes are The Photograph, about a psycho photographer who gets haunted by one of his victims, The Girl in the Glacier, about a girl frozen in ice who has a surprise in store for the man who defrosts her. And Condemned in Crystal, about a fortune teller who tells a man she will kill him by midnight. Sounds like my usual Saturday night date. Eulogy Mortem's Mad Monster Cinema presents the Vortex premiere of Fiend Without a Face on Friday night. In this thriller, an invisible thought monster is accidentally created by some scientists at some rocket base somewhere in Canada. Things go from bad to worse when the creature eventually materializes as a series of flying brains and starts sucking the brains out of its screaming victims. This British indie movie is far above the average B-movie of the 50s, but I mean flying brains? Really? There has to be a joke there somewhere. Saturday, the Midnight Movie with Rich and Triv present the Vortex premiere of Psychomania, also known as The Death Wheelers. Biker gangs, black magic, devil worship, and the living dead are all part of the mix in this horror comedy about the leader of a motorcycle gang who commits suicide, returns from the dead, and then convinces the rest of his gang to do the same. Can't you just hear your mother saying, if your friends jumped off a cliff, would you do it too? This movie is directed by Don Sharp, who directed several Hammer horror movies during the 60s, and is written by the same team who wrote Horror Express, a Vortex favorite. George Sanders and Beryl Reid co-star as devil worshippers, but Sanders committed suicide for real before the film was released. This episode was requested to be shown by 2 of our faithful Vortex viewers, and I'm always glad to take requests when possible. Finally, on Sunday, Monster Movie Night with Bobby the Monster and Boris the Buzzard present Del Tinney's Horror of Party Beach. It's about a party. It's about a beach. It's about some monsters who look like Muppets on steroids. This low-budget horror musical doesn't have Frankie or Annette, but it's got monsters, buxom beach babes in bikinis, and classic surf music. And it's also got Eula Bell Moore, who plays a stereotypical black maid and steals every scene that she's in. Every day is a good day if it ends in the Vortex. You can find us at horrorhost.net. Each feature is on every night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember, folks, we're the Gooble Gobble channel. We accept everyone. We've been around for almost 9 years, and we will keep the doors open as long as you keep coming around. You can find the Vortex on YouTube for content not shown on the streaming site, and we also have a Facebook group and fan page. Once again, I'm Sluggo, and as always, thank you for watching. Sluggo loves you. See ya!